Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So I wanted to do a pretty quick, short, summarized video on the retriever and its fittings and why I recommend each one of those fittings. Both your high, mid, and low modules, as well as the rigs and why. We'll start at the top real quick. So your high slot modules should be MK7. If you are in a retriever and you are using an MK5 module, you are wrong. You have no excuse. Use an MK7. You are wrong. You're going to get more out of it. Don't use an MK5. We'll go mid slots. So I tend to mine in a group. It's usually a few of us out, as well as some protection that's sitting there. If a single poor soul warps in at 0, well, you know, I just engage. I throw the newt up there, throw the web up there, and I pop the drones, and we let our defense do what they do. They're probably not getting out. As the guy that runs our defense, his crazy long list of kill mails can show that. So the energy neutralizer, I use the neutralizer in case someone warps in, like, let's say an Executioner 2, which is going to be laser based, which is using capacitor. This helps to drain their capacitor a little bit quicker. Granted, it's very short, so either I'm in range or I'm not, whatever. We got the web up next. The range on it is very short as well. It's not really going to matter. I'm in a retriever. I'm not here to do a whole bunch of damage. At this point, I'm just kind of watching. Now, your modules will be based off of whether you are farming as a group or you're out farming solo. If you're out farming solo, find somebody to farm with. You probably, you know, if you're in a corporation, if you can get a couple people together, you know, do it the best that you can that way. I should say, if you're solo, do it the best that you can. For drones, I just run 2 MK5 warriors, nothing special. If you really wanted to, you could probably throw in 2 MK7 acolytes. They are generally cheaper, but they do EM damage. Very few ships in the game, I think, unless I'm wrong, in which case forgive me or flame me in the comments, whatever, I don't care. Come with much EM resist at all. The only time you're really going to find that is through rigs, whatever. But either way, you're just putting out a little bit of damage. Drones, however, can do a lot of damage if you really skill into them. And if you really want to skill into them, go with the Acolytes, the MK7s. You'll do a lot of damage to some of the smaller frigates and stuff that are attacking you. The Purifiers, the Executioners, things like that. For your low slots, man, this is hotly contested. I would suggest running the, let me get this one up, the MK7 cloaking device or MK5 cloaking device, just a cloaking device, right? You're sitting in a belt by yourself, or you're sitting in a belt as a group. Let's say you're a little on the scared side, you don't want to die. If someone warps in, you immediately hit your cloaking device. Or if you're out mining by yourself and you're paying very, very, very close attention to local chat, let's say you're in a system where there's only 2 or 3 of you, you know those folks that are in there, and a neutral or a red warps in, you see that, just pop the cloak, wait for them to leave. It may take a few minutes, but hey, you're still alive. You know, I would suggest that when you pop the cloak, maybe point your retriever down and start flying down, or start flying up. Just make sure when you're positioning your retriever that you're not near an asteroid or anything that's going to decloak you, right? So you honestly want to be sitting below the asteroid belt, must be sitting behind the asteroid belt or off to the side of the asteroid belt, and you want to make sure that there's not an asteroid within 2 kilometers of your retriever. Honestly, you should really not be that close anyway. You want to be back a little bit further, because you should be trying to target somewhat the kind of materials that you're mining. All right, here's the other contested one. If you are going to run a warp core stabilizer, they need to be aura warp core stabilizers or nothing at all. Find something else to run. The reason being, I'll show you kill mail after kill mail of people running MK1 warp stabs, MK5 warp stabs. They're not going to do you any good, right? I've got 2 warp stabs on here right now, right, which is going to give me +8. If I get into a situation where more than 1 person or 2 people are fighting me, I'm probably going to be dead anyway, unless I'm sitting next to some defense. So if you're out mining solo, you want to have aura warp core stabilizers. Do not run an MK1, do not run an MK5, do not run anything other than an aura warp core or better, right? Because you're going to get the plus 4 and you're going to get the +4, right? So you're going to have 8 total. Just keep in mind, your retriever is going to take 6, 7, 8 seconds, depending on your trainings and your, what rigs you're running. If you're running inertial rigs, but I know they're expensive, but you've just built yourself a decently expensive ship to mine with, right? So that means that you want to mine enough to pay for that ship, less more. Don't lose it because you're running MK1 warp stabilizers. Just don't. They're not going to do you any good at all. All right, so here's one right here. All right, you had it on MK7 strip miners. Good job. He had a he had a micro warp drive on. All right. Yeah, you're gonna get from rock to rock really, really quickly, but you're also going to really increase the amount of damage you're taking because you're increasing your signature radius, right? So, I mean, I really am going to suggest against the micro warp drive. If you want to put an afterburner on it, okay, fine. Stay away from the micro warp drive. The other one here, the inertial stabilizer and the warp core stabilizer. I understand what he was going for, right? He undocks, he gets to the mine belt faster, it aligns and starts moving faster. I get it. I would suggest against it, right? The MK7 warp core stabilizer, as you could see, I got him with 4 points. He only had the 2 strength, right, to get away. If he had had an aura warp core on there, he would have had the 4 points, right? I would not have been able to hold him. He would have lived. It's one of those where I get where you're going here. I get kind of what your thought process is here. But you got to go with the aura. You got to go with the aura. If not 2 auras. 2 auras and an afterburner. I wouldn't really worry too much about the inertial stabilizer. It's not really going to be that big of an increase to warrant not having 2 of the auras on there. Okay, so this one here. Put auras on there. Just put auras on there. I mean, look, we've got 3 MK5 warp core stabilizers. The warp strength, you're 2, 4, 6. 2 of us, right, managed to get him. If he would have just had 2 auras on here, he negates 1 and 2. It was just 2 of us, 1 and 2. If he had 3 on here, he would have negated 1, 2, and 3. Run your auras. I know they're expensive. I know they cost a bit more, but you're looking at losing 2 MK7 strip miners, right? Your 3 auras if you had them here, and then your circulation rig, and your efficiency rig. 20, 40, 50 million rigs. I mean, just run the auras. If you're gonna run retriever out solo, sitting there, put your auras on there. Don't cheap out on the auras. Don't cheap out on the auras. All right. So here's another one where high value kill. There's only 2 of us, right? That's 4. That's 8 points in total. Okay. Nothing in the low slot. So 2 strip miners, 2 MK7 strip miners. This man's got a smuggler, medium afterburner, a shield booster, and an armor repair. I understand I understand the thought process behind it, right? Especially since he had the drones and he had more drones in his bay. I get the thought process. But again, had you just had the 3 auras on there, right? You would have made it out of this fight. I'm telling you, run the 3 auras. You're just, it's the best thing that you can possibly do for your ship. Or at least run the 2 auras, right? If you run the 2 auras, then you negate 2-man ganks. You just run the 2 auras, and if you really want to run the afterburner or something else, let's look at these rigs are all over the place. I'm gonna assume this was a very new player with not a lot of guidance, which is why I want to make this video, because when I see things like this, yeah, at first it makes you chuckle, and then you realize, hey, you know, someone like this, they could use some guidance. Let's see if we can kind of help them learn the game better, right? Because sure, we got the kill, yay, but at the end of the day, the more competent the entire player base is, the more fun the game, I think, would become. So, but that's my 2 cents as far as the retriever goes. We can throw together a video for a venture as well, maybe, or who knows. I really just wanted to kind of to guide people, you know, to the best of my knowledge. Yeah, just hope everybody has fun playing the game. If you have any questions, concerns, leave them in the comments below, and I'll do the best that I can to answer them. All right, y'all. Everybody have a great day. Take care, and come back to the channel for more videos. See ya.